Hey, good morning to everybody. Happy Wednesday. Daryl here. It is 6 a.m. here in Connecticut on the East Coast. It's a beautiful warm day in case you're looking at the apparel. It's about 65 degrees here in Connecticut at 6 a.m. in the morning. Beautiful day. I'm getting ready for my bike, right? But I want to talk to you guys first about the future. The future, yesterday was 2 weeks to the election. What is going on? And if Trump wins, what if Trump loses? And where does this channel go? Where do the other channels go? What do we center on? If hopefully Joe Biden wins. All right, let's start first with what's going on right now. Let's talk about the stimulus first of all. The most recent poll, 7 out of 10 Americans, a little more than 7 out of 10 Americans are in favor of another stimulus check. That almost just shy of 75% of all Americans are in favor of another stimulus check. Now, Mitch McConnell over and over now is trying to shoot this down. He's been warning the president, the White House, that he's warning them against the stimulus bill. So I heard this during the last week. I heard this over and over. And I was wondering why, if there was any good reason for this. I should have known better. All right, so I looked into today. And it is solely because he thinks that any stimulus bill made to help out us Americans, that 7 out of 10 Americans are in favor of this, of getting this done to help us right now. With another spike into the coronavirus and winter coming on and flu season coming on. There's no doubt that we need this right now. This is one of the most pressing issues. And Mitch McConnell, what does he want? He does not want to do this. Why? Because he thinks it might interfere with the confirmation of Amy Coney Barrett. So it's more important to Mitch McConnell and Republicans, and he's trying to convince Donald Trump of this too, that it's more important that they see her and thereby hopefully push the election in their favor, because let's admit it, that's what this is all about. If trying to get her seated by election day, what other possibility is there? It's another little insurance policy that if there's any questions and it goes to the Supreme Court, it'll be in their favor. It's trying to push an election in their favor instead of letting the vote of the people decide it, or even the electoral votes decide it. It's another attempt at scamming the vote and trying to win at any cost. And worse than that, it's saying that the American people, that we don't matter. The pandemic, people being unemployed, people not being able to pay their bills. I've seen that rents and people have been able to pay their rents, and there's foreclosures, and people haven't been able to pay their mortgages, and it's just going to get worse. And what is Mitch McConnell? He's just focused on getting Amy Coney Barrett seated and ensuring a Trump victory over the American people. I mean, that says it all. All right, so what's Donald Trump talking about? Well, he wants Joe Biden arrested or indicted. I can't believe I'm saying that. Again, I can't. It's something if you asked me 4 years ago how bad it would be, I'll say this again, I would have never imagined that we would sink to this point. This is something you would hear out of a third world country, out of China or Russia, or a dictatorship like North Korea. A sitting president, a sitting ruler of the country, seriously facing a loss in the coming election, wants his opponent arrested. It's with 2 weeks to go. And to add to all that, these are just recycled allegations that have already been disproven. And then not to mention, like my last video, they're churning up all this Hunter Biden stuff, which has absolutely nothing to do with the presidency. I want to make a point that too. I talked about that. I talked about Hunter more recently, and I noticed there was people that were interested in talking about Hunter Biden, but in reality, he's really not important in the American citizens' lives and in America's life right now. He doesn't really play a part in all this. But it's not stopping Donald Trump, Giuliani, from trying to make an issue. I mean, it's such an obvious attempt at replaying what they did 4 years ago. If I remember right, it was right in October when they convinced the FBI. It was the last straw. They convinced the FBI to investigate Hillary, and that was the last straw for Hillary. And we still haven't even heard what those emails were about. Emails. And 4 years later, I haven't a clue what these supposed 30,000 emails were about. They were just forgotten about. Was she ever arrested or anything? Nah. It was all forgotten right after. And they can't even think up a new tactic. They're using the same gameplay from 4 years ago. All right. So he wants Joe Biden arrested. All right. So I've gone over that. So say he loses. Say Donald Trump loses. What's our future hold? What do I talk about on this channel? Well, there's plenty to talk about. Let's look at Donald Trump Jr. There's some talk about what Donald Trump would really do if he were to lose. I know he spews all this stuff about leaving the country and how he'll never talk to the American people again and all this other pathetic, whiny stuff. But there's talk that how him and they're going to try to use the name and this whole MAGA movement to maybe start another large media company of their own, maybe something similar or larger than, or even worse than Fox News. That's a possibility, but I think there's a real possibility that Donald Trump will set his eyes on running for president in 2024, without a doubt. I think that's almost a guarantee. So I think if this battle, or I wouldn't even call it the war, won. If this battle is won and Joe Biden wins, the fight is far from over. The people that initially put Donald Trump in power are still going to still have the same mindset, the same toxic mindset, and they'll be focused on 2024. Let's look at Donald Trump Jr. just basically. I mean, it's not even about the Republicans. With Donald Trump Jr., it's about owning the libs. He's somebody that pushes conspiracy theories. His two tactics are pushing conspiracy theories and owning the libs. And this isn't even about the Republican Party anymore. It's some new. It's Trumpism, and it's something that the Trump supporters just eat up. For some reason, to them, it's a win to make other people angry or upset, owning the libs, as opposed to the old goals, the real goals of the Republican Party: a smaller government, less taxes, less government interference, yada yada yada. But I don't see Donald Trump Jr. or Trump or anybody talking about that anymore. It's like the old Republican Party just disappeared, and it's now Trumpism. And I was wondering if it would be Ivanka, because for sure I would bet anything. I'm 99.9% sure that if Donald Trump loses this election in 2 weeks, that's going to immediately be the next focus, without a doubt. We'll be seeing that already. Trump Jr. 2024. I'd be willing to bet they're going to need something to focus on for owning the libs, and that'll be it. Like I said, at first I thought it might be Ivanka, but I see Donald Trump as the heir apparent. The funny thing is, I think Ivanka probably is smarter and more business savvy. And, if I had to choose between the two, which one would probably be a better president? And I hate to say this, it'd probably be Ivanka. Trump Jr. is just purely about hate, misinformation. For instance, one last thing here to close on. Eric Trump. I have to laugh when I say that name. I always think of Beavis and Butthead when I say Eric Trump. He... another one that's been constantly posting false information just lately. He's been posting past houses, past rented homes of the Bidens, saying that this is the current residence. Just more misinformation. And the audacity of anybody that supports Donald Trump talking about Joe Biden's money or Joe Biden's houses when their candidate has gold toilets, 17 resorts around the world, and it's ridiculous. But so anyway, Eric Trump posts a picture of Ice Cube and 50 Cent wearing Donald Trump hats, and of course it was not true. These were photoshopped in. And along with him photoshopping or falsely saying that one of Biden's past houses is one of his current houses or some other stuff. It's amazing that these two brothers are just the worst parts of Donald Trump. And Donald Trump is mostly made up of worst parts. But they are just like a concentrate of the worst parts of Donald Trump. And that, I think, would be... If Donald Trump loses in 2 weeks, I think that's going to be the next battle. Will be to do away with Trumpism for good. I would much prefer the old Republican Party to Trump anything. All right, I'll talk to you guys later. You guys have a good Wednesday.